EP2 coming to you from Saskatchewan here today with another episode of You Gotta Be Shittin Me, where we take a look at things that are happening in our country right now in bewilderment, wondering to ourselves, is this really where things are at? Warning, there might be a little bit of swearing in this episode. Topic number one, sorry, we've only got one way to get you gas. So the Chancellor of Germany visits Canada in hopes of finding a supply of natural gas that's not from Russia so they can make it through this pesky little thing we know too well here in Canada called winter. Hey, Blue Ball. We're one of the top 5 natural gas producers in the world, but we have the most anti-oil and gas government you could ever imagine. Plus, we have more regulatory red tape than you could shake a stick at to try and get an energy project approved here in Canada. And any ones that do get approved, like the Coastal GasLink pipeline, are subject to territorial disputes, environmental activist protests, and or violent attacks. So as a result of this, any of the LNG that we do manage to export goes south of the border for pennies on the dollar to the US of America, who is currently on track to become one of the largest LNG exporters on the planet. Just one terminal exporting LNG from Canada right now would generate an estimated 9 figures. Wouldn't that be nice to add to the old GDP of Canada? But because we have to excuse the Prime Minister because he doesn't what?
You'll forgive me if I don't think about monetary policy.
Ah, yes, that's right. He states there's never been a strong case to export Canadian LNG to Europe, so we're just going to keep sending it on down to the US at discounted rates so that they can make a fortune off of it. But hey, don't worry, Justin Trudeau's got you covered. The Canadian Department of Foreign Affairs has said that they will hire German consultants to promote poutine and other favorites to Oktoberfest. The end goal is to promote Canadian food and drink to a German end consumer. You gotta be shitting me. So Germany, while you can't depend on your renewables and you're worried about freezing to death, we unfortunately can't get you Canadian LNG, but we're going to help you with a different kind of gas. You can take Canadian poutine, mix your bratwurst and sauerkraut with it at Oktoberfest this year. That ought to help you out a little bit. Hey, you're welcome, Germany. Or should I say, gerne geschehen, Deutschland. Topic number 2. Anthrax is not just a heavy metal band. Now there's this video going around right now that I have had shared to me. I've been tagged in. I've basically had this thing shoved in my face over the last couple of days of some TikTok guy that has got a bunch of people convinced that the federal government is killing our cattle herd off using anthrax. You've gotta be shitting me. Okay, listen, you all know me. I'm about the most anti-Trudeau guy that you're going to find in the country of Canada. In my personal opinion, the only thing that this government has got right since they were elected in 2015 was finally deciding to replace our age-old decrepit fleet of F-18s. That's it. Everything else they've done, they have absolutely and completely bastardized. But just because you might be like me and despise Justin Trudeau and basically his entire cabinet, at some point in time, you have to be able to stop, take a breath, look at what/who you are listening to and watching, and think about it. Like, think about it. Right now, you are listening to a guy named Quick Dick McDick, okay? Now, normally I don't do this because I cannot stand giving jackwagons like this any airtime whatsoever. But in this case, let me walk you through this video.
Hey, everybody. So, people who call out the government on their corruption tend to disappear.
No, they don't. I've been doing this for years. Still here. Haven't had one single video taken down.
I honestly don't think this video will stay up for very long, so what you need to do is you need to like, share, get this fucking video out there. And if I disappear shortly after this, you know what happened.
Yeah, I know what happened if you disappeared. Means nobody watched your stupid fucking TikTok channel. Listen, people, if you have a person that comes on right away that's like, what you need to do is like and share and get this fucking video out there and I'm probably gonna disappear. Skip past it and go find a video that is about dogs playing with kittens or something. It is gonna be a lot better for your mental health because you are full on dealing with a kook.
The feds have sent out health officers to test water. And how they're doing this is they are sneaking around Saskatchewan, trespassing on farmers' land to test the water.
Okay, can you define sneaking for me? Like driving around in marked cars in the middle of the day? If you call that sneaking around, I'm guessing you're not a very good hunter. Listen, the federal government testing water is a pretty common occurrence. Now, how do I know? I grew up on a PFRA community pasture here in Saskatchewan and saw it hundreds of times. But I do agree that what the feds were up to was absolute and complete bullshit, because they did not consult with the landowner before they accessed their property, which puts themselves at risk, and it puts the landowner's property at a biosecurity risk. Since then, the Saskatchewan government has amended the Trespass to Property Act to include the Crown and the right of Canada. Good. Unfortunately, that's how the feds are going to treat us here in the prairie provinces. They're going to treat us like shit, and they are going to suffer absolutely no political consequences from it, because nobody's going to vote for them here anyway, so they're not losing anything. So it is the job of our provincial government to do what they did and push back. Now, they could have done it way better than they did, but whatever, they did it. Does it look like two children fighting in a sandbox at recess over a toy? Of course it does. But in case you haven't been following along, that seems to be all that politics is nowadays anyways. All right, does this cover the sneaking around part of this? Okay, great, glad to hear it. Here's what our good buddy says next on TikTok.
Now, while all this is going on, the government is also trying to demonize the beef industry. The Saskatchewan government has said if they proceed to do this, that there will be consequences and they will start arresting them. It's already too late, and I don't believe them to begin with. 2 fucking days after the first report of these feds trespassing on land and testing water, there's reports of anthrax in Piapot, Saskatchewan. It says right here, Saskatchewan Agriculture says anthrax has been discovered in the rural municipality of Piapot.
Okay, anthrax cases reported in Piapot. Congratulations, you can point at articles behind yourself on TikTok and read. Or can you? Please, oh knowledgeable one, tell me of your vast experience with anthrax.
Can anthrax spread through water? In a terrorist attack, bacteria such as Bacillus anthrax, blah blah blah, could be released into the air or in the water or food.
Excellent pronunciation. You have me glued to your factual presentation. Please continue.
2 fucking days after the reports of them trespassing. And who the fuck knows where they've been, where they haven't even been caught. After just a quick Google search.
Good. Another Google search. Perfect.
Pilot Butte, Moss Bank, Pence areas. So if you're in those areas, you seriously need to look at your cattle and treat for anthrax.
Well, thank you for your tips in herd health management. Somebody please give this guy an honorary degree in vet medicine. You do know that the Saskatchewan Ministry of Agriculture confirmed that this anthrax is not found in a bovine species. Bovine means cows, in case you didn't know. And secondly, when you say seriously look at our herds and treat for anthrax, what do you mean by seriously look at our herds? Go out here and look for a carcass? Because that's how you initially find anthrax. Typically, livestock is exposed to anthrax when they disturb soil that once contained an active moving body of water earlier in the growing season. So if you see something like Piapot, they had a wet spring, came into a very dry summer, puts livestock in that area at a very high risk to contraction for anthrax. The anthrax is already there, nobody brought it in. It's just when the livestock disturb the soil, it exposes them to the spores. That's why in the beef industry, we typically vaccinate our bulls against anthrax, because they're assholes and they disturb the dirt. So we start there and then work our way out. But please, don't let me interrupt your public display of how knowledgeable you are. Continue.
If they were just testing water, they would go into that person's yard, they would knock on their door, and they would ask for permission.
Hey, listen, I'm not going to disagree with you there, all right? If you look at what's happened in Saskatchewan in the last couple of weeks here alone, people in rural Saskatchewan are on edge. Anybody that's trespassing where they should not be are probably not going to be dealt with very nicely. That's why it's important to post your land, because if somebody is out on your land, you can drag them back to the sign and ask them if they read it before they came in here in the first place.
But no, the federal government has played their hand, and this is what they gave us. Shit's gonna hit the fan, people.
You mean your video's gonna fly up and hit a fan? I don't get it.
I don't know what else to tell you.
How about nothing? Let's start with that and go from there and see where it takes us. Listen, folks, I can't stand the federal government. But if you have some guy on TikTok that's trying to convince you that they're spreading anthrax throughout the province of Saskatchewan, you need to take a breath and check reality a little bit. Here's a glimpse of another video that this guy has posted on TikTok. If this is your savior telling you what's happening with bovine herd health in Saskatchewan, I suggest that you take a breath.
Hey! So,
Hey.
I've made like 11 accounts
Oh,
on
okay.
this stupid app.
11,
maybe
hey?
more.
Maybe more?
I don't know.
I know, it's hard to keep track
I've made
of, right?
a lot of accounts, and TikTok
Yeah.
has removed all of them except
I
for
wonder
2.
why.
I still got
oh,
2.
2? Okay.
And
Yeah.
that's why I'm making this video. You should go follow the other one that has no violations on it.
Oh, no
Because-
violations. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because if I get kicked off of this one, then you got to find me again.
No,
So
I
might as
don't.
well just,
I really don't.
I was making this video so
Yeah.
that you could find me.
Oh, okay.
So
Thanks.
I'm gonna put the
Yeah.
username in the thing.
in the thing?
And
yeah,
then,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll put it in the comments too.
Okay, the comments too.
Just go follow that account
No.
if you don't want to lose track of
No,
me,
thanks.
this guy. All right, bye.
Okay, bye.
That's your guy, hey? You gotta be shitting me. Now, this isn't a regular production. This has kind of all been done on the fly here, folks. And seeing as how we're running out of time, we haven't talked enough you shitting me topics yet. We're gonna do something called a speed round. That's 5 you gotta be shitting me topics coming at you really, really fast. Here we go. A week after the state of California passes a plan to end the sale of gasoline-powered cars by 2035, they issue a statement telling people that own electric vehicles not to charge them over the Labor Day weekend because of an upcoming suspected power shortage. You've got to be shitting me! Here's this car that you must buy that you can't charge or take anywhere when we tell you you can't. Here, Polyev posts a video with a young single mother from Nanaimo who can't start her small baking business back up again because she can't turn a profit at it because of the price of baking goods, and it turns into a debate of whether there's flour in Nanaimo bars or not. You gotta be shitting me! Who gives a shit what's in them? Bet a lot of those people posting Nanaimo bar recipes are pissed that he's the new conservative leader, hey? The point is, the only person that can afford to buy groceries in Canada right now is Justin Trudeau. Which leads us to our next, you gotta be shitting me. Justin Trudeau holds a cabinet retreat in Vancouver where him and his cabinet will talk about unaffordable housing in Canada, climate change because of pollution, and the rising cost of food and gasoline here in our glorious country. You've gotta be shitting me. You wanna talk about pollution and then you fly across the fucking country on a jet to one of the most expensive places to live where you're gonna stay at an unaffordable hotel and eat the fanciest of food to try and solve problems of how Canadians can afford to live? Oh, she's empty. Due to a revenue windfall, the Saskatchewan government's going to be issuing a $500 check to anybody over the age of 18 this fall in Saskatchewan. And anybody that was after the government to do something with these resource revenue windfalls is now butthurt that they're getting a check instead of it going to where they wanted them to go. You gotta be shitting me. Listen, take your check and do whatever you want with it. The only thing that I'll say about the check is the same thing that I did in my actually last You Gotta Be Shitting Me video is, are we really issuing a paper check and mailing it to everybody? Can you guys in SGI get together and just make it all one check a year? Former federal minister of climate change Catherine McKenna goes off on some kind of unhinged Twitter rant on Premier of Saskatchewan Scott Moe, stating how she had shown him previously how he could use carbon pricing to get rid of the PST in Saskatchewan. You've got to be shitting me. When she managed the infrastructure profile in Canada, she couldn't account for billions of dollars worth of spending, and now she's some kind of a tax expert? Huh? Can you imagine that conversation? Yeah, Scott, totally what you do is you bring in carbon pricing, and then you totally just tell people over and over and over again that it's going to replace the PST, and they will, like, the more you say it, they will, like, totally believe you. Has the federal government got rid of GST since they brought in carbon pricing? No. You've got to be shitting me. Enough of this. Let's do a farming video next, maybe, hey? Yeah. This is Quick Dick Big Dick signing off, reminding you, a friend of Quick Dick you might be, if you read the news, say, you gotta be shitting me. Hey, new ball. Catch you next time.